everyone. My name is Nazani and I'm so grateful to be a part of this 3 days workshop. And thank you, Prof, for giving me another chance to be the moderator for your session. How are you?
I'm fine, Nazar. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, so Prof, I would like to share a photo with you first, and then I would like you to share your opinion with us. Like, what do you think about the photo?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'll share my screen now. Prof, can you see my screen?
Not yet, Nazar.
Okay.
I think some problem with the sharing.
How about now?
Yeah. Okay. We can see the chicken.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so Prof, I would like to know what is your opinion about this photo, and in your opinion, can the chicken actually cross the road?
Okay, very interesting. Huh? Okay, first of all, I would like to say greetings to Dr. Frank, who is in the Lavender Literary Club India, and also other organizer, Cap Common Trust, Dr. Regina, and of course, Malaysian Industrial Relation, Human Resource Management Social Mirkha. I would like to welcome all the participants and also the distinguished speaker, my good friend, Dr. Khairul. How are you, Doctor? You just, I think, presented a very good presentation on the multi-method and experimental and non-experimental. I'm very glad to see that you are doing a great job just now, Doctor. So basically, what I'm going to share with you all, actually, this type of discussion, I'm not going to share slide or this. I decided to do like this because as a professor, I willing to share about my experience. How I come back to be researcher, especially in qualitative. Nazar, a few years back, Nazar, in Australia,
Yeah.
We have the conference on the chicken. So it's a workshop on chicken. So chicken, so every day everybody wear like chicken shirt and then the food of chicken, everything. So I was very impressed. Then we all thought that it's actually party for chicken, and then many people like chicken. So then we went to the workshop. Very interesting. A lot of few scholars came in. So you can see the picture. When the chicken is now on the road, can chicken cross the road? That's a fundamental question. Okay, so a lot of people when choose the research method, especially scholars and also student, masters or PhD or even bachelor students, like some bachelor student here listening now, they always have one thing, they always want to do quantitative studies. Everybody, especially in Asian context, I see that. I don't know why it's happening like that. So everybody want to do quantitative studies. Everybody don't cross the road, all right? Because they're so worried if I cross, like see the chicken, if you cross the road, two things will happen to the chicken. One, if cross, you will die. Definitely you will die because you cannot see left and right because it's a. Secondly, you're able to cross over and you feel like I'm achieving something. So today, very interesting. I look at this picture, very interesting. It shows that how chicken can cross the road. And that's what people from other side of the world, especially if you go to Australia or Europe and all this context, you will learn something new. When I was in Malaysia, when I started my professor depend to get a scholarship, PhD, I almost failed, I think Dr. Khairul know about this, and some Malaysian scholars here, which are listening now. I almost failed to get my scholarship, which is, I think, people on the review my proposal, they want to reject, and they say, you are failed. So once I fail, I'm not able to go to, because I'm thinking of this chicken. So I put myself, hey, why you guys think like that? They said, when I presented about 3 case study, they said, cannot, you are not able to do. And chicken must be very intelligent and all. So chicken can answer like very intelligently to them in order to get a scholarship. And I told them like this, sir, look at this. If let me go to Australia, let me explore first, and let I listen to my supervisor. If my supervisor say A, I'll do A. If it's B, I'll do B. But I want to do A. I want to cross the road. In whatever circumstances I face, I want to cross the road. I know there's a danger. If I cross the road, there will be something happen to me. Or I die or I have success. And then that's how I defend, and my point taken clearly by chairman. Because the chairman decide whether I can go or not. And the VC decide whether I can go or not. Thank God I'm able to defend. And these people like not happy to my reviewer, not happy because they are fully influenced by quantitative studies. And they only numbers. Sampling 400, 500, that's all. Hypothesis. Then that's what they know. They don't know that they other. So when all this happened because I was trained in the United Kingdom. I was in the United Kingdom for 1 year, my master's. Although 1 year, but I learned a lot of things from them. I love to learn from them. And then I want to explore. So finally, I able to defend, and I got a full scholarship. I went to Australia, and I met my supervisor, and that's how I learned. And in fact, even with my supervisor, I learned. So Nazar, it's very interesting. I'm in this situation. I crossed over the road. It's very dangerous, but I crossed. I see, look left and right. I know what I'm doing. I read a lot before I cross the road, like what the chicken in this picture. I read a lot. When I started read, I started Guban Lincoln. Guban Lincoln is my guru. Although they are somewhere in other country, but I read their books. Guban Lincoln give me a big picture. What is a ontology? What's epistemology? What methodology? I start reading for 2 years, I study, then only I cross the road. So Nazar, this is how they cross the road. I take the great, what they call a great challenge, and there'll be danger. So, but I cross over. And finally, I got the best result in my PhD. No correction, nothing. But because the examiner, I respect them, I did something. That's all. But I didn't get any of. But it's a hard work. Thank you, Nazar. That's what introduction. How I cross. That's how I come up with the qualitative research. And able to learn.
Thank you so much, Prof, for sharing your experience with us. Okay, so I guess someone is not muted.
Dr. Vaidyo Prema, can you? Okay.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, Prof, for the great explanation. And now I really understand what does crossing the chicken means. I mean, what does it mean when the chicken cross the road? Before that, I would just think like, okay, that's not possible because the chicken will probably die. Okay, so as you always mention, quantitative research means we are looking at the top of the carpet. But whatever is on top of the carpet, we can see. However, the qualitative research means uncovering and discovering the things that are located under the carpet. So can you please elaborate a bit more on this statement?
Okay, thank you, Nazar. I think you are one of them. When Nazar is my PhD student, and Miss Tong also here, some of them, my PhD student here, even Jessica, all my master students. First thing when I look at them, especially Nazar, no, Pro, I want to do quantitative studies. And I told her, why? What happened? Why you cannot cross the road or cannot? Then she's defended herself. No, Pro, my master is quantitative. I want to do that. Okay, fine. Then I challenge her. All right. So when I give challenge, she take it a challenge. That's why today I'm very happy to see she humbly take the challenge, and then she go in, and then she found. So I am the first introduce the terminology, under the carpet, above the carpet. No many Western models on the theoretical model on the qualitative research. I'm looking at this method. I mean, of course, they'll say covering, uncovering. Then I told Nazar, when you look at the carpet, you see, you go to hotel, okay? You love it to sit on the carpet because you know why? The carpet is so nice. If you have a chance to open up the carpet and see what inside, you don't have a chance at all. You know why? The hotel never allow you to see the carpet because they don't allow you. They want to make business. So, but let's say, I asked her, let's say you open the carpet. What do you see? There are a lot of dirt there, a lot of dirt, a lot of things under the carpet. Do you think, Nazar, I'm asking one question to you. under the carpet, so many dirt. Do you want to clean up or you want to let go like this? Tell me now.
Of course, I will clean it up. I mean, if I see the dirt, I'll clean it up, and maybe like I'll find the reason from where this dirt came from where the dust came from. Maybe I'll do
Yes,
that.
true. What do you mean dirt under the carpet? What do you mean dirt? Why you need to clean up? Why? Can you give example on your own thesis? What are you doing now?
Okay, so I'm doing on ethical leadership. Basically, if I look at a company from outside, for example, I'm just giving an example. Just choosing a random company, like let's say Uber, since it's no more in Malaysia, I'm just giving an example. If I think like people are giving great reviews about Uber, but then regarding my experience, when Uber came to Malaysia, like I was not really satisfied with Uber. Like I preferred Grab the most. And of course, they had a lot of ethical issues, like such as the way that the drivers were acting, the way they drove, and all that. But from outside, you won't know unless you actually try and you explore like how the condition of Uber is. And mine is like basically ethical leadership among the private sector in Malaysia. If I wanted to do a quantitative research, like maybe I would just distribute survey among, let's say, 500 respondents and get some numerical data to SPSS or PLS, and then at the end, I will just submit my thesis like after 3 years. But then since you suggested me to do ethical leadership, now I have the chance to actually explore what are the ethical issues that companies face nowadays, and maybe like my research can generate new insights for the future researchers as well.
Okay, thanks, Nazar, for the explanation. So I go a little bit in depth what you said. So you see, when you do research, I don't say any saying that you are not able to do quantitative or qualitative. No, that's not my fundamental issue here. My issue is here. What is a fundamental question? Just now, Dr. Cairo clearly explained to you. What is a research question you're going to ask in your thesis? That means your big question. What is that? Let's say I'm asking the question, why? If I ask why, there's so many answers for that. Why ethical issue is very important in the company. If I ask this question to 5 respondents, they will give more and more in-depth, especially those people already there for many years, like CEO and all this. So there's no limit. That's what I say, under the carpet, there are a lot of issues. All right. Another thing, when you send the questionnaire, people have no chance to express, especially in the area of human resource, industrial relation, whatever it is, even marketing, even operation management, even logistics, even engineering, even doctors, medical doctors. There are many patients want to say something. Do you think doctor is all perfect? No. Doctor no perfect. Doctor never smile, Nazar, never smile to the patient. How the patient feel? Even lecturers, professors, if you don't smile to them, you know like how you feel. You say, I will give up. That's it. But if you interview them, you ask the example, you ask the patient, do you happy not go to hospital? No, I'm not happy. Why? Is it because of sickness? No. The entertainment, the response for the doctors is very fierce. I ask many people around, very fierce. They have no mercy on the patient because they're very stressful. And then they give a long answer. So that is actually very important, that under the carpet, uncovered issue. You talk to them. So for me, it's okay. You can use whatever method, but back to the philosophical of science. Then you look at the epistemology, ontology, and come back to methodology. So when you look at the methodology, the most important that what kind of question you ask. So for me, I come to the cross the road. A lot of people, I mean, a chicken cross the road, like Patton, Creswell, okay, Miriam, and many scholars, Steak, Go Geese, Guba Lincoln, Uber and Miles, everybody, including myself. So we are looking at the different under the carpet. So if you go to your house may be very clean, but a lot of issue that unclean. Have you been to room or not? Each room. Nazar, you visit a room. Maybe you come to my room, you will feel, wow, bro, like that. I don't believe, bro. How can you have so nice, beautiful room? How can you do that? And I'll explain to you, because I believe myself must be clean, must be, everything. You go to another room, another respondent, wow, I cannot enter. The same person, why you do that? Oh, I have no time. I don't care. I don't get example. I'm telling you. So you see the two different answer? Yes. But you ask them why, and they will come tell you this. Answer is exactly can accept it. I'm very busy. I cannot accept it. So whatever come from the people, you accept it. That's the beautiful of qualitative research. You documented people's feelings, people expression, what people do. So Nazar, so are you understand clearly or not? And all my participants here, do you understand clearly or not? So if you look at this research, that's why we covered, uncover. Then some people say, no, I want uncover and recover. That's what Dr. Cairo was talking. So they use multi-method. So all depending on what are the philosophical science you brought. So for me, most important that what is the issues and problem that you're going to study. That's why easy. If you cannot decide that, how are you going to choose the right method to solve the problem? Many students in Asia, sorry to say, from the Asian student, they only want to do quantitative. You know why? That's what they was taught at the university level. So we need to explore all the method, all right? All the method. Tell the student this method, what disadvantage they want, and then after that they will choose. But the problem is, if we do some research, like what another doing, ethical issue, you do like survey, people can say yes, everything very good. Nazar, everything good. Your answer will be definitely very good. Let you go and talk to them one by one. You talk to the customer, you talk to the employees, you talk to the leaders. They will give a lot answer about that. Then you, as a researcher, you have to do that. And that's what I did in my doctorate. It's very, very tough. About 80 people involved in my study. Imagine one respondent, one info was talking about 3 hours. How many pages? At least 20 pages. 80 people, you times 80 times 20. How many? 1,000 something pages. 2,000. You need to verify. You need to make a summary and you write as a thesis. So it's very tough, painful, but chicken crossed the road. And when the chicken crossed the road, he was so happy and the celebration will start. Nazar, that's what I believe on that. Thank you, Nazar.
Thank you so much, Prof, for the explanation. Prof, somebody raised her hand, so can we proceed with her question and then continue with the session?
That's what we do. Okay, Ken.
Okay, so you may ask your question now. Or maybe she accidentally pressed on it. I'm not sure.
Her name is Deposmita.
Deposmita, yes.
Yeah. So nothing happened. We can proceed. You can put a chat box. Okay.
I guess the chat box isn't available, but then there is a new feature called Q&A session. Maybe like they can put in that.
Yeah, she's speaking now.
May I,
Okay.
may I say something? I'm not allowed now.
Can. You can ask question now.
Sir, I'm very much very much impressed with your explanation. This is the real research, nothing like that cleaning. That you have said that why again and again, because it is the search of the fact. Why it is going happen? Why not this again and again? Why search of fact? This is the real research, and nothing like covering. We have to penetrate and go in the depth to find out what is the real cause, what are the real cause hidden behind this proper objective, and how we can find out the real findings. Is it not right?
Nazar, can you catch up? It's very disturbance.
I actually had the same disturbance, but what I understood, maybe like she meant, I'm not sure, like qualitative, because you mentioned like it's about why and how type of questions, right? So maybe like she asked to elaborate on that, if I'm not mistaken. If not, maybe she can put her question in the Q&A session, and then I can read it out for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's from my first introduction. I say there's no wrong. You choose your method. No wrong. I'm not saying quantitative or qualitative. No, I never say like that. It's all about what are the issue you want to cover in your research. So fundamental issue is what is your theoretical gap, what is your practical gap. It's actually same. So before you select the methodology, you need to decide what is your ontology, what is epistemology. You as a scholar must read Gubert Lincoln, understand clearly what is ontology, where the knowledge is, how the knowledge is, and how to solve the problem. That's why I call methodology. So for me, it's not wrong. It's okay, fine. But I believe that in my own ontology, I believe that when I conduct research, when chicken cross the road, you found something that many issues uncovered or under the carpet, then that is important also for the policy maker. For in my case, many labor policy in the country, yeah, not in the university or in the country, actually many of the issues is uncovered issues already become policy of the country. Madam, Dr. Devisa, I don't know, thousands of people in Malaysia happy, and I mean they feel so happy because they got a salary 1,500. Do you know how much salary about 10 years ago? I'm let you know. I was there in the time of suffering or the people who are lower income people. You know how much salary? Only about 100 USD. 100 USD, what they can do in their life. They got 10 children. And this is a lower income group. My tears come up on that time. When I come back from a PhD, I ask myself, what I learned in Australia, what I learned go through in this methodology, and this, what I say qualitative, under the carpet, above the carpet, I found that I did need something to do. And I used university as a base. At the back of me, many undergraduate students follow me. Many of them, I said, follow me. When I was in University of Malaysia, Sabah, I started this industrial relation program. Let's work together. They all follow at the back of me. Finally, in year 2011, our Prime Minister agreed to enact the minimum wage for the low income group. Do you know how much now? Just 2 months ago, our current PM announced 1,500 ringgit, equivalent to around 450 USD. From 100 to 450, that is actually good. Everybody happy. They got paid slave, they can buy a car, they can buy anything. That's enough for me. So imagine if that research I didn't do under that, you just come up with a quantitative, let's say, employer be very, very happy. Maybe they're very happy about that, and they say like that, maybe a lot of issues uncovered. So that's one policy. Another policy, trade union, and also in many people hate trade union, around the world. Actually, trade union is very good. They can help a lot of things. Also, through my doctorate study and all these issues today, you can see that the government allowed people to join the union, people allowed to participate for union, and now currently, I think, Nazar, we got a big grant, research grant from the government. Under the competition, we got a grant to study about the perception of the people from youth, and we are using multi-method. Still, chicken cross the road. We're going to found, uncovered, and discovered, and then we're going to propose this policy to the country. Why I use this one? Because I want to know what the youth think from all over Malaysia. And at the same time, we are going to have a focus group discussion. We're going to have an in-depth interview with the individual who involved in study, and we want to propose. So I don't know, in this group of people, you need to have a passion to do PhD. A lot of people do PhD just for the purpose to get promotion. That's all. Nobody in this world want to do PhD to the passion. But in many countries, I've been talking to, I got a lot of friends from all over the world, from US, from Canada, from New Zealand, from Australia. And my late supervisor, Program Market, taught me one thing. Bala, you need to fight for the people who are suffering outside. Can you do that? Before he passed away a few months ago, he messaged me. Can you take over my role? Can you do that? I say, Prof, yes. As long as I live in this world, I will do that. And I make sure that everybody, even employers, not only employees, even employers are suffering now. So we want to make everybody happy. So your research, what's the meaningful research? Are you going to for your own promotion? No, actually not that. Your PhD have meaningful PhD. That's why when I told Nazar, you do for your promotion, I can allow you to do any method. You can finish even 2 years plus, you can graduate. That's not important. when your study is completed, you're not only helping the people in Malaysia, or even though you study, but you're helping around the world. I think, Nazar, I will stop here. I think I already explained clearly. I've no wrong any method as long as what are the issue that you want to recover and how you framework your question, and from question, what you're going to do next. That's all.
Thank you so much, Prof, for the justification. Okay, so from your perspective, Prof, what do you think? Which one comes first, method or research questions?
Yeah, I think I already explained many in my previous section. I believe issue first. Before you start, don't think about your topic. Your topic always come later. When I already examined PhD thesis, Nazar, for more than 100 thesis, Nazar. I examined thesis from India, many universities from India, from New Zealand, from Australia, from all the top universities in Malaysia, University Malaya, USM, UMS, many. In fact, I got 2 more coming up. And first question asked the candidate. And do you know, Nazar, I'm examining many quantitative PhD thesis, you know. So for me, it's okay. I understand both. For me, it's okay. First question asking, what is the theoretical gap and practical gap in your research problem? Can you explain or not? Many of them cannot explain well. They're just like, don't know. So I say, why you don't know? You are doing research, master's or PhD. You need to know what is a gap in theoretical. Don't care about India, don't care about Malaysia, don't care about the state. No, that's no issue. Issue is, what is your theoretical gap? Are you going to do an advancement or new knowledge, whatever you do within the theory? Example, I'm asking one question, Nazar. One of my students, my master student, successfully completed a master by research. I say congratulations to him, Mr. Firdaus. He's not here. He wanted to do PhD. Yesterday I was asking, Firdaus, what is the next you want to do PhD? And he was explaining to me, Prof, I want to continue from my master. Yes, I'm agreed to you. What is the theoretical contribution you want to do? Can you explain to me or not? And explain one by one. Okay, you want to use Islamic ethics. Okay, like your question, Islamic value, ethic, Islamic value on working relationship between employer in any sectors, doesn't matter. Then asking the question, have you gone through the Western model? You know, what is the definition by Professor John J.T. Dunlop, Alan Fox, Professor Richard Hyman, Professor Ray Markey, Professor Russell Ransbury, Professor Ani Verma, Professor Kurivilla, Professor many professors, including myself. Have you found or not? Yes, Prof. I found this is a Western model. Can you challenge a Western model or not? Why you cannot challenge? Why you want to accept everything from them? So why you want to do research? Yes, can you add Islamic value within this model? That is your contribution. And it's very peacefully say, yes, Prof, I understand clearly. So now, Nazar, can you understand or not? You want to add in Islamic values in the model of Western model. That is your biggest contribution. That's a theoretical. I don't go to the practical anymore. What is the practical issue? Then asking why you do the Islamic bank, why you do the Institute of Banking, why you should banking, Prof? Because still something happened in this bank, although they are Islamic bank, but why still something not good thing happening? That's a fundamental question. Why the relationship between employer and employee not good? And then I want to bring the Islamic value. What is Al-Quran was mentioned? Okay, sorry Nazar, I got A in Islamic when I did my Form 6. I got A subject. I know how Islam evolved and what the things that Islam can contribute to the body of knowledge. So I brought all the students looking at the IR and looking at that. So I think I clearly explained to you. I never go to the methodology yet, but I'm talking about issue will come first, then you choose the method. Don't ever decide method. That's a wrong concept. I hope all of you in this room, please don't repeat again that mistake. Please follow that method always come later. Clarify. Even you got a PhD student, let them clarify what issue they want to do. Once they clarify that theoretical gap and practical gap, I'm sure you can do well. That's what I give some example. Western model, one extent, very good. No harm with that. But as a scholar, you can challenge. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm challenging. I want to propose a new. I'm not rejecting. No, I never reject any model, any theory. All very, very good. But in the context of Asia, in the context of Malaysia, we are Islamic state. I say, when we talk Islamic state, what do you mean Islamic state? Then we bring this one. So I think I give a very fundamental issue. And then the question will ask why. That's what Mr. Philo asked, why and how. How Islamic value can improve relationship of employee in institution of a banking industry in Malaysia. How? Why Islamic very important? So when you talk about why, then you adding to the fundamental theory that you want to do that. So we come up new, totally new model, and we're going to present, we're going to publish around the world. And of course, this is what we have to do. 100 years IR theory. More than, I think, Nazar, more than 500 years, Nazar, I'm challenging now. First time challenging. So you don't think that only engineering can challenge, not only that. This is a very noble ideas that I brought to the in IR perspective. So you need to think outside the box. Don't do research by yourself. But if you don't clear what is a theoretical contribution, what is a practical, then you cannot proceed to next level. That's very important. Then you choose a method, how and why, and continue you do, you say completed, and you create a new model. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof, for the explanation. Okay, so as you mentioned, basically qualitative has nothing to do with the numbers, as we'll be having interviews or focus group discussions with the participants. So basically qualitative research seems to involve a lot of talking to people. And it might sound easy, but then what are the expected issues that might be faced during the formal or informal interviews with the individuals or a group of people from your perspective?
Okay, you see, Nazar, many people misunderstand. When they say qualitative, they think interview is qualitative. Very easy, for them. Many people and many of them I saw when doing research, they just define, oh, I do interview. No. That's not qualitative. Okay. Why numbers not important in qualitative? Because some instance we use numbers, like government documentation, economic performance. Yes, we use a document to any here. So numbers actually not important for us, because when people say something about the issue, we look at their opinion, personal opinion about the concept. Example, I ask one question. What do you think about industrial relation from the Malaysian perspective? Let's say I ask the question to the employer. And I know that literature review very clear. I know the theory, the concept proposed by Professor J.T. Dunlop, Alan Fox from United Kingdom, Alan Flanders, Richard Hyman, and Prof. Ray Markey, Russell Lansbury. All these people already defined clearly from the concept. Then I'm looking at the Malaysian concept. Surely the employer will give different concept, trade union will give different concept, and my job is listen to their ideas and opinion. So that's why we call in-depth interviews. And these people are already there for many, many years in industry. Then I'm looking at the company level. I asking the managers also, and also the employee also. They will give different thought. So with different opinion, your job is you must be independent. You cannot be biased. All right. There may bias happen, but you need to be a researcher. You need to respect all the opinion, and your job is verify and make conclusion, and then go back to the literature and look at it. What Dunlop said, what Professor Fox said, this is fundamental theory, what Professor Webb said. Then you verify there's a difference within them, and then you come up with a new theory, not totally theory. You just adding the theory, and you say that is how the research evolved from one step to another step. So when your question is why, maybe you are looking at the multiple respondent or key informant will involve. Why IR is important in the workplace. You're not only asking employer and management, you're also asking the non-managerial employees, and you're also asking the trade union what they think about industrial. Example, I give example. So, and then you got a multiple ideas, opinion, and verified. And all these come from the no numbers. Okay. So your job is how to verify, how to validate, how to trustworthiness. All these terms we use in qualitative. How you want to make the reliability of data. If we see in quantitative, you can run the any. So yesterday there was debate is going on. I'd like to share some debate. I think Dr. Khairul also can share. There was debate. Nazar, I'm asking one question to you. You are doing a process. Do you need pilot study or not in qualitative research? Like what is happening in quantitative? Do you need pilot study? Please tell me.
in qualitative, in my opinion, I guess we don't need a pilot study. Quantitative, of course, we need because we have to check the reliability of the questions with the participants first and then proceed. But then because qualitative, we'll be doing the interview only. So I guess there's no need to do a pilot study.
Nazar, the answer only 50%. 50%.
50%. Oh, 20%.
Yes. Maybe 20%. You cannot convince. So if you say like this, you have to be revival again. Okay? Again, okay? The reason why also another issue where no many discussion on this area. You maybe explore Nazar, on this. No many article written about whether we need pilot study or not. From my experience for 25 years, I work with the many scholars. I'm not working with them. I'm reading them. Like Miles and Hooper, they are not in my field, not industrial relation. They are in the different field. But of course, fundamentally, my area looking at the multi-method and in the qualitative, but they're not. But the qualitative scholars, as far as I'm concerned, no need pilot study because first written, you can write down. First, qualitative is open-ended. You see, qualitative very flexible. Your title can be changed anytime. Your question can be changed anytime because that's the flexibility you have. First thing. Second thing, why you need to verify the question? Nazar, I'm asking why? Why you need that? No need. Because you're asking the people, let people talk. You don't need to go and verify, you know, to go and verify the question. No need. Because the moment you use qualitative, you are asking people opinion. Let them talk. Why you control them? No need. Okay, second question. Only about 30%, Coming back to the 60%, Nazar. This is very important. When you do quantitative, Nazar, what do you have to do? Your chapter 1 to 3 must be very clear. Your theoretical framework must be fixed before you go and collect data. That's what Dr. Cairo was saying. Experimental and hypothesis. If you don't do that, you go and collect data, that's it. Your question are all unreliable. When your question are unreliable, your model rejected, you cannot graduate on time. You fail. Because you know why? You never do the pilot test on the question. The question can be your hypothetical question, and you collect because you cannot change theoretical framework. Right? Remember, Nazar? The moment you pass PD with your theoretical framework hypothesis, that's it. You have to test the model. Remember, test the model. The word very important. You test the hypothesis. That's why using hypothesis. Otherwise, you cannot test the model in social science. We are testing by using hypothesis. In science, we're also using hypothesis, but we go to lab. Very easy, You go to lab, you like chemical, chemistry. You will go and take the chemical thing, you mix up. You come to the hypothetical question, you result like that. Very easy. Same thing also in social science. You need to clear your question. That's why we send the questionnaire to the pilot study. Let them whether understand, no understand. No need in qualitative. Whether they understand or understand, that is your answer. So 100% you pass if you go like this. If you do like that, and this is my own research, So Nazar, please go and write about this paper. So this is my own definition because I'm here for 25 years. I work with many scholars. I interview many people. I do a lot of research, even multi-million research I did, in even millions of dollars research involved because I'm sitting on the national level policy on the wages. We are given grant millions of dollars because that is KPI for Prime Minister. Nazar, understand? When Prime Minister announced the minimum wage is KPI for the people, that's what we did for last only 10 of us helping the country doing that. So I'm the one of them. So feel very proud to see that all the research that we've done is actually tomorrow we got another big meeting tomorrow to ratify on qualitative research. We do FGD with all of Malaysia. So I feel no need. You don't need to go and ratify the question, Nazar. No need. Let them talk. Give opinion. Give freedom for them to talk. That is the beautiful of qualitative. You cannot get in quantitative. You stop people talking because you're testing. You're testing, you know what I mean? You're testing the question. That's all. They cannot ask you anything. Just yes or no, satisfied. You ask why you satisfied? No way they can answer. That's all. So meaning say, I'm not saying wrong. I'm not saying wrong. It's okay. Fine. Because you want to capture big number sample for the country. So for the any population, no problem. It's okay. But all research, regardless whatever research, it can be any methodology, he must contribute to the body of knowledge. You also helping to propose new model. Quantitative study also new model, because after the questionnaire, hypothesis 3 hypothesis was rejected. You are asking your question, why was rejected? There's a reason behind. And you go back chapter 2 and you clarify. So now clear, Nazar? Otherwise, you have to read
Yes.
again. You have to pack your things.
hope.
You go back in Australia. Sorry, Nazar. No sympathize for you. No way. They pack your thing, you go back. I come back without sending the degree, submission. Everybody come back. I take the challenge and I finish. Thank you. Don't be scared, but this is reality.
No, I hope they ask me this question. I mean, the examiner asked me this question during my proposal defense.
Now I already give you answer to you. Not only you,
Yes.
all of friends here, I give answer. I think there was debate in a Viva session recently. Even everybody asking me, I give this answer very clear, very justified. Why are you worrying about that? It's for qualitative, flexible. You don't control the question. The question can be changed. While you asking one question, Azhar, you can ask another question to them. Sir, can I ask another question to you now? And suddenly the question change, Can you do that in quantitative? Sorry. If you do that, you're already going to be problem in your research, and your theoretical framework cannot be used, rejected totally. So I know both methods, Azhar. 70% of thesis I'm marking actually quantitative. You know that? But I also know about the advantage. So some students have to read YY again. Even they cry. I got 3 students, 4 students, they cry in front, you have to read YY again. We never fail them, read YY again. And finally, they pass. But that is a reality. Quantitative, you can't do any simple thing. Any silly mistake you done, come back again, or you fail, you go back. But qualitative, not say I'm easy, but justify can be done. Thank you, Radha.
Thank you so much, Prof, for the explanation. Okay, so as you know, I was from the quantitative background, and when you asked me to proceed my PhD thesis doing a qualitative approach, like one of the main challenges I can say, of course, I faced a lot of challenges and I'm still facing, but one of the main one was that I was totally lost in the wide literature. So clearly the review of literature is important because without it, a comprehensive understanding of the topic of interest cannot be acquired. So from your perspective, Prof, what is the role of literature review in bachelor, master's, and PhD research? And what are the qualities of a good literature review from your point of view?
Okay, thank you for the question, Azhar. You cannot deny your literature in chapter 2. Literature review comes from chapter 1 until the chapter 5. You must understand. But the fundamental issue is literature review is very, very important. Okay, in qualitative research, I'm coming to qualitative research, and later I will touch about quantitative. Qualitative research, there are different models, different perspective. I don't know whether you heard about what do you call this method, grounded theory. You heard about grounded theory? You never heard about grounded theory?
Yes, I read from
Okay.
the
You
qualitative
read
research.
grounded theory. Grounded theory, no need to have comprehensive literature review. No need. You go direct to the field, all right? You direct to field, you gather data, and you come back data to theory. You understand? What do you mean that? The meaning is like this. When you do research, grounded theory, you go back to do some interview, in-depth interview respondent, and then you gather data. Your data is enough because we call in qualitative saturation. Example, you interview 10 people, number 11, you will say same thing again, you stop. No need to go. That's the beauty of the doing research on qualitative. Let's say number 11, again, you stop. Meaning to say you go number 12, same. Okay, and then you come back. That's a tough job for you. I got one student, I got one student, is a minister for almost 40 years experience, right? And YB Dato is actually now currently, he just retired. Not retired, still an assemblyman. He was a minister, full minister before. And actually, he is now advisor. So Dato actually, YB Dato Talib is my student, already formed the model by himself. So there are many quantitative people supervise him, cannot. And Dato was trained like you in quantitative. When he did a master's in 1972, Nazan, you didn't born, I'm only about few years old, only about 8 years. Now I'm supervising him. He did the economy, fully econometric and so on. Then he come back again to do his PhD. So throughout 40 years, he was as a integrity of man plus corporate governance. So what Dato did, actually, he come up with a model. He managed integrity and corporate governance and come up ICG model. Now, many quantitative professors supervise, he give up. Cannot. Nobody can supervise him unless except myself was brought by another my friend. He said to him, Dato, I got another my friend, Professor Bala, maybe he can help you. The moment I go to see him, first question I ask him, Dato, you have no theory at all. How you want to match your model into the theory? And that's how I go and help him. Because he is a man already invented. The model, Nazar, nobody done in the world. I already gone through the biggest bookstore in Dubai. I found that his topic, nothing, nobody done. He's the first in the world come up with this model. And the model invented by him. No theoretical, nothing. Is it easy, you know, Nazar? How are you going to do that? Tell me now, Nazar. How are you going to help Dato to come up with a theory? And as you do all the time, read theory, read concept, then you can move to data collection. Am I right? How are you going to advise him? How are you going to complete the thesis PhD? Tell me now. I challenge you now.
Okay, so do you mean like, do I have to mention about the theoretical contribution of the thesis or how?
No, you already got a model. He is the inventor model. He's a man of theory. Got model, everything ready from the field work.
Oh, okay.
He's experienced 20 years, 30 years. Model. Now, no theory, nothing. He started from zero. That's why I said grounded theory. But I using ethnographic lah. I didn't go to grounded theory because I little bit reverse, but close to grounded theory. So I use ethnographic case study. So how are you going to advise him? How are you going to complete his PhD thesis? Successful. How? No theory, no concept. No chapter 2. Not yet. Nothing. Zero. He already started chapter 4. Chapter 5. Already contributed. Everything finished. Completed. How? Tell me now. You know,
So because he already had a model, right? So I don't know whether it's possible to actually, I'm not sure actually. I'm confused now.
That's
because
fine. All right. Yeah, exactly. Somebody raise a hand. I don't know why. Do you want a question or not? Nazar?
okay. Aquilene Anne raised her hand, so maybe like she can ask a question now and proceed with the next question.
Yeah. Nothing, I think. Okay,
Aquilene, you may ask your question.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I think
okay.
so.
So
Everybody, I think, exciting now. Everybody want to know what's going on. Everybody like headache tonight. But don't be headache. Enjoy your life, huh? Okay, Nazar, I give answer. So it's challenge for me. As expert in qualitative, you know what I advise Dato, you've done a very good job. First thing I said, I salute you. You are the one only in the world. In the world, huh? You're the only one in the world that come up. But the problem is how? And we reverse the car. You can reverse, no? Can you reverse in quantitative? Nazar, tell me. Can you reverse or not?
quantitative, no.
But qualitative, can reverse or not?
We can, yes.
You can go left, right, can go. Your car can reverse back, you know. If you go to India, some places, Nazar, you were shocked when I go to Taj Mahal, India, the car reversed for 1 kilometer on the middle of the road, you know. Reverse, you know. I said, why? And the driver said, it's a common. We do it. Then I really appreciate him. The way he did that, very professional. And Indian people very nice. Nobody go and fighting with you, know, Nazar. If you do in Malaysia, Nazar, they will come out from car, then you're in the trouble. You will reverse because of traffic jam. Then I learned, okay, for Dato case, very easy. When he completed, I go through his finding, everything fine. You know how I started to write, I asked him to write chapter 2. I pick up the concept and the word and theme that he invented in the model. And we go back to what is fundamental theory to help him to answer the question, reverse back his model, and he come up any all completed another. Now go to submit the thesis. Can be done. You can reverse the car, okay? But with the condition, you must have relevant theory to explain the model. You already found the right model. You already found the concept. He explained the model. Fine, finished, completed. So now you understand how to do that. I
Yeah.
hope when you graduate, better answer your student in the right. Don't say no, 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 cannot. Quantitative, you cannot reverse. The moment you reverse, what happened? You will bang the car because you don't know where to go. You reverse, bang the car. That's it. What happened? You will be fine. Am I right? Or you bang the people,
Yeah.
you go to jail. That's all. But in qualitative, no. You don't bang the car. You very careful reverse. That happened to India. I was respect the driver. I said, I'm salute you. You are really excellent driver. Because traffic jam, you have to send me to the Taj Mahal on time. Otherwise, I will reverse. So he reversed very nicely. People understand, and we reach the on time. Can be done. Huh? So that's my question to you. There's a lot of research you can manage to finish complete on that. So I told Dato, your model is excellent. And you know what happened, Nazar? Dato already become minister on that field. That's already contribution. And I told Dato many times, Dato, you submit. You see, he's a man of, very senior people in the organization, and he is also very scholarly, and he really enjoy reading thesis. He takes some time. Doesn't matter because I give you time for him. Say, Dato, you do because you're not rushing to the promotion. But the moment your book out, Nazar, sorry to say, the book going to be super sale. You know why? He interpret integrity from the concept into become an ethical issue and reduce the thousands of the money. I'm telling example. The previous people who are before Dato come as a minister, many projects actually millions of dollars lost. Not lost, actually not lost. They earn. When Dato come in, he reduced thousands of the money, and the money is saved for that. So they are different between two. I think one day you need to meet him and interview him, and you will see that, wow, I'm really admire him. So I respect Dato as a scholar, as a professor. I said you write and write complete, and we come back. So that's what I am saying. Literature review very important for. So another spectrum of qualitative is actually myself and yourself. We cannot reverse on. We have to write a theory, a concept, a model, but you use the word. What word? Nazar, please tell me. Start from the T.
Or
T. T-E-N.
T-E-N.
T-E-N. T-A-T-I-V-E. What is that?
Oh, tentative model.
Tentative model. The model can be changed, but you need a model that's you and me, because we are not experienced in the industry. We are just one. So there's another spectrum of quality people paradigm. You need to have a tentative model. The model can be changed later after the finding. You can make it, but quantitative already fixed, no tentative. Theoretical framework or research framework or conceptual framework, doesn't matter. That's why they're using mediating and moderating variable, because they have to add in the theoretical contribution. That's why they're using moderating. If you look at the degree, you look at the masters, only end up with what? Dependent variables. Because enough for you to justify. When you come to PhD, you cannot just use two variables. Not enough. How can you contribute? And that's why they put in N. But in qualitative, no need. Qualitative come from the people. People will say many things. It can be a variable. So you can make a model, and you are helping quantitative people use your model to do another research. Is it good or bad or not? All saying we are helping. So that's how we are. There's two paradigm. One is a granular theory, no theory, but data, come back to theory. Another one, you have theory, you have the conceptual, but you just tentative and go back. Another quantitative people who are positivism, you want the testing, you cannot change anything. That's what Dr. Cairo said. Cairo said, experimental and non-experimental. So you happy now with my answer, Nazar, or you want to be debate with me? No problem. You can debate me anything. I ready to debate with you. Okay, but you need to read a lot. Before debating me, you need to read a lot. Go back and read Guba Lincoln, then you come back debate with me. Otherwise, sorry, I cannot debate you. But I welcome student debate with me. I'm really happy. Let me debate together. Then you can answer. Okay, Nazar.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. And then my last question before we open the session for participants' question is that there are like confusing opinions and different perceptions on the phrases of research gap or knowledge gap, which are commonly used in the academic literature. So, Prof, from your perspective and point of view, what is research gap or knowledge gap in research and literature? And do you think that the gap is explored, and how can we identify the gap?
Okay. Actually, the terminology only, Naza, terminology only, research gap or knowledge gap almost same. Okay. But the most important, I'm asking you back again, what do you mean theoretical gap and practical gap? What is that? Is it same or not different?
These two are different because theoretical gaps, we are looking for the theories in order to support our study to generate new insights. But then the practical one is actually the practical issues that are being faced, if I'm not mistaken. Based on my own study that I got this knowledge, like the practical will be like basically the ethical issues, but the theoretical contribution will be something else.
Okay, thank you, Naza, for the answer. Still, you need to improve a lot, I think. So you keep on reading. I know you're reading a lot of articles, understand, and appreciate that. And that's scholarly work. Actually, you see, knowledge is related to theory, right, or concept. Because when you contribute knowledge and theory that someone already done in the past, that we call literature review. Without you have somebody done on the concept theory, you cannot go contribute to the body of knowledge. That's fundamental issue. So knowledge refer to theoretical contribution or body of knowledge. Okay, body of knowledge can be any field like human resource management or organizational behavior or like operation management or marketing. Doesn't matter. Let's say you do research on HR, but you want to contribute in the marketing theory. Can. Who say cannot? Because branding come from marketing theory. Am I right? So when you talk about employee branding, you already inculcated marketing theory. When you marriage marketing and HR, the result will be better because you are using marketing into the HR perspective. You understand what I mean? Understand now? So branding, when you look at the branding, this example, typical example. So if you look at the research, is almost covered these two, theoretical. When you look at practical, what do you mean practical contribution is how to solve the problem, fundamental problem at the workplace or even on the operation manage or logistic, whatever, doesn't matter. So how to solve problem? Like example, many drivers today, Naza, I was driving in my car today. All the lorries actually driving crazy. You know why? Why they're driving crazy? They don't care anybody on the road. They don't care. Why? Why, Naza? Why? Because why, Naza? They're driving crazy on the road. Even the bus driver. Why? Why?
There can be a lot of issues. Issues in my opinion, maybe like they have personal issues, they are tired, they are not happy with the job or the salary.
Yes, exactly. They're not happy with job, not enough salary. They have to rushing to trip, from KL to Kelantan. They drive in the midnight. They never sleep. Accident happen. People dying. You want to happen all this? So you need to do research. Naza, if you don't research on logistics, you keep on people dying. How can, Naza, you don't have a pity on them? We are the one scholar to help. But many scholars never do research on that particular topic. So that is a setback for me that, so why the driver driving crazy? Because we need to help them. So we do research on logistic industry to find out what's happening. So from there, we know answer. That's a practical issue. Why they're, but the theoretical issue is why they are not happy. So job satisfaction maybe cover only certain dimension, but in overall, we are going to cover even more than maybe dimension that already discussed in the main theory of job satisfaction. Maybe they are new under the new millennium 4.0 IR, there will be more dimension that we covered so that we add into the job satisfaction theory, the concept. So fundamentally that what we're trying to do is now to understand clearly what's happening on the problem and how to solve this problem. So Naza, are you there or not there? Hello? Naza, can you hear me?
I think Naza have a problem connection, Prof.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So Jessica, maybe you can take over now.
Yeah. Okay, so
You can open up the question Q&A now. And Naza will join. Naza already joined already.
you are back.
Okay, Naza. Naza is back already. I think. Yeah, she's back already. Okay, Naza.
Naza, you are muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess there was some connection problems.
All right, no problem.
So I pass back to you again, Naza. Okay,
Okay,
Jessica,
sure.
let Nazar complete the thing. Okay.
Okay, so thank you so much, Prof, for the knowledge and inspirational as well as the insightful session. Now, I would like to ask the participants if they have any question, they can ask Professor Dr. Balakrishnan.
I would like to ask Jessica. Jessica, you just start the master, Jessica. How you understand today talk? You explain where you just started your masters. I think you're going to do something on labor. So I'm asking, I will challenge you now. Please.
Actually, my mind is not stable right now because I'm rushing from, Okay, so I'm studying master in entrepreneurship human resource. Right now I'm handling grant about labor trade union. So this is a really important issue because our labor are not in a good way right now. Yeah, we have a lot of issue. Yeah, after COVID also, so everything have. Yeah, we need to redo again, something like that. And we know that because of COVID, people are not getting good job. Yeah, people are not getting. There are so many worries in their mind. So that's why I'm studying the master to solve some problem that are related to employee and employees, how they can harmony in the company. It related to industrial relationship. Yeah. Okay, Prof.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question. Okay.
Okay.
So you need to explore both method, and as I also explained, and all of my participants here, you need to explore both method. You appreciate both method. Don't ever say I'm going to use qualitative. Very proud. No, 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 no. That's not your job. Your job as a researcher, you need to study clearly what is the philosophy of science between these two methods and how these two methods actually contributing to the body of knowledge. You need to appreciate scholars from the quantitative and scholar from the qualitative. But when you can't make your stand, your own decision process, then you look at the issue that you, and so don't say I'm very proud to use quality. No, like that. It's actually your paradigm shift. How are you going to solve the problem in the practical problem in the workplace? Then you decide, okay, I'm going to do this research problem, and this is my theoretical gap issues, and this is my practical, and this is my policy gap, and three combined together, and then you say, oh, I'm going to use, because this is a fundamental issue. So my question will come from the research problem. Then you choose the method, not because that. But again, I'm telling you, in the terms of labor issues, which I see in the many research and in journals, they are mostly use this method so that a lot of issue can be solved on that. So okay, Nazar, maybe you can ask Dr. Khairul opinion. Dr. Khairul, are you there?
Yes, Prof.
Dr. Khairul, can you do you agree, not agree with my point? Maybe you can debate also, and you can we can discuss, because I know you also one of the expert in both method, and I think you trained in US, I was trained in Australia, in UK. Probably you can give some dimension. What is US stand and Australia and UK? Okay, Prof.
Can you repeat the question, Prof?
No, what is stand? After listening to my thought, what is your stand? Because you're expert in both method, am I right? Multi-method, and then you was trained in US. I know Prof was went to US and you trained in US. I was trained in Australia, and of course Australia, UK always some differences, between. But I believe some scholar in US, because US fundamentally moving towards quantitative. I know that survey and so on. There are some also doing qualitative, but not many. But whereas in Australia or even in Europe, we are much more go on multi-method or qualitative. But of course, now the trend is going there. So what is your opinion on that? How you want to harmonize this in Asian context?
I think most important thing is what I talked early on, and also like you also emphasize on this thing. You know, like don't drive our research, like don't choose methodology first, and we need to understand like what is the issue, like how we can solve the issue using a best method. So when we understand that fundamental, then I don't believe that you can easily choose whether to do qualitative, quantitative, or mixed method. It depends on your issue. So this is like a good fundamental. This is a good workshop. You know, like when you sick and you go to see a doctor, uh, you know, like when you see a doctor and then the doctor just like kind of like ask you this question, okay, what are your symptoms? And then you said like I have like my temperature is high, and then she said or he said like, okay, I will give you a medication. You know, I think that is not a good doctor. You know, like you need to ask this question in terms of qualitative and quantitative. You need to ask a question, what is your symptom, and then you need to examine the patient. So same thing goes to research. You know, we need to understand like what is the issue, what are the best method that can solve our issue. So I'm agreed to your opinion. I don't believe in US, UK, Australia, or Asian kind of, you know, they are more prone to qualitative or quantitative. I don't believe in that. I believe that research is universal. I believe that what we practice the best is the outcome of the research. So I'm on board with you, Prof. Not because you are my colleagues, not because I know you, but because I think that's true. You know, you can ask more senior researcher. You can ask Guba and Lincoln. You can ask Creswell. You can ask like Bruce Thompson. All these good researcher. I think they all same answer with me.
Yeah,
You,
I think Dr. Khairul, I think you and me actually contributing greatly in the context of Asian context in Malaysia. Traditionally, if you go like in the past, everybody want to do quantitative. If you go to or UKM, you see, people straight away do quantitative. Then I read a lot of quantitative again and again. Doctor, I feel like what is this? They just use a PLS, SEM. That's one method. And then they come back, they say reject or no reject. That's all. After that, they come out. So for me, what is that? And then they cannot explain well, doctor, on the contribution of body of knowledge. They cannot explain.
Yeah.
They cannot explain well how the model is evolve to the next level that another research can take off and go. No, nobody do that. So for me, it's like, hey, what's going on? Why? I think I believe, doctor, when you are in the US, doctor, and mine in Australia, that easy. We do PhD. You ask a supervisor. Your supervisor actually no give any clue. Am I right?
Yeah, true.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
If you agree totally, doctor, no clue. You never give any, you even never say anything about your method. You just swim first, you die yourself. You come back to me. If it's wrong, it's your problem, not my problem. And I was trained by Program Market like that. I remember, doctor, I was married. I got experience as lecturer. I know I'm publishing a lot of books. When I met my supervisor, I just stand outside the door. You know what he said to me? Bala, you only got 5 minutes for you. That's all. I waiting for 2 years, he said only 5 minutes. I entered the room, immediately asking so many questions. I answered. And he look at my work, he just throw away. Just throw away, that's all. He said, this is not up to my standard. Can you go back or not? How you feel? You read 2 years, never sleep. Nowadays, students, so easy, Just go there and say, don't know like this, never go to library, never go to see the librarian. Sorry, Naza and Jessica, sorry, I'm very sorry. I and Dr. Khairul, library is our second home. You believe or not, you ask them, library our second. The librarian actually helping us a lot. I remember I got one article, written about 200 years ago. I got back the article. They get back for me, and I was so happy. There's a fundamental theory webs and webs written on employee participation. Why? Why you do that? Because every day we went to library. We never think about anything. 8 to 5, we're in the library, study and study. We are so scared to see our supervisor, so scared. I remember Dr. Cairo, I'm not sure, but in my case, I'm scared. But every time I fly, go to conference in the World Congress, my supervisor sit at the back. One time, doctor, I was in Europe. I'm presenting my research method. And the first question asked me, can Bala justify case study to generalize the theory? First question asked me. I answered nicely. I said, according to the in was saying A, B, C, D, E, like that. And my supervisor is smiling at me. And he came back to me, you've done well. That's how I follow him. All my life, I presented myself. He followed at the back of me. You know, doctor, what he said to me? Bala, you are the super student for me. You do everything for yourself. I know how tough I am, but you can do it. That's why I'm very proud to graduate from Program Market, because he is number one in the world in IR. You know, Dr. Cairo, you know Program Market, number one. And he published more than 200 articles in ISI journal. I cannot stand with him, but he's my good friend. Before he died, he told me something to me. You need to follow what I have to do for you. And your student must be like you, must be independent. And I think ask all my students, I'm very nice to them. I'm very close friend with them. I can joke with them. When it comes to the research quality, I cannot deny. I'm using, I think Dr. Cairo agreed with me. We are using the standard that already for many, many years ago. So all the students in here, that I believe you do research not for yourself, for the people that suffering outside. And that's why I think recently, we have Waiwa from Nigeria. How pity it is, doctor. Remember? Waiwa stopped halfway. And I don't want to cry because the student, what happened to him? I'm so worried that something happened to him, you know. And luckily, thank God, he's very brave enough. He came back. And I think the moment he finished the Waiwa, I think he feel like so proud about his thesis. Of course, room to improve. I can fail, you know, doctor. I have right to fail, doctor. You also right to fail, am I right? We have a power to fail, but we're giving chance to students. So that's why most students today, doctor, they're not like us. They just don't know. They're just depending too much on the supervisor. Why? Their name of supervisor is supervisor, not teacher. You need to do yourself. Debate with me. Nazar and Jessica, I challenge you both of you. Debate with me and Dr. Cairo. Why not? But debate with the, you know what? No debate with a very egoistic. Humble yourself. You know how to debate. All right, you humble yourself. I never do that in my gurus. I never do that. I know Dr. Cairo for many years ago. He was UTHM. I'm in UMS. We have good friends. Until now, we're working together. We discuss together why. The reason that we work as a team. But we have differences. You got different, I got differences. But in terms of friendship, we are friends. But in terms of quality, we can debate. So that's what my advice today. All the young students here, please go through the process and you become someone in the future, better person. Nazar, I pass to you, Dr. Cairo. Thank you very much. You're with me
Thank you, bro.
now. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Cairo and Prof. Bala, for the great session. And thank you so much, Prof, for again giving me a chance to be the moderator for your session. I'm really grateful for that. And it was such an informative session. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nazar. So, pass back to Jessica, Jessica, I don't know, pass back to who? Japlet? I think Japlet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Prof. Bala. Thank you, Nazanin. Yeah, so I pass to Miss Jeplet.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your interactive session. And thank you very much for joining in us today. Does any of the participants have any more queries to ask?
Yeah, shall I ask a question?
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am,
I'm
please go
audible.
ahead.
Sir, you told about these qualitative techniques, and just will you explain? This is an unstructured one. Then, what is the methodology you are using? And finally, how the findings is? How would you explain the persons the findings is a reliable one?
Prof. Bala, you are muted.
I really cannot follow. What is it? I mean, can you summarize the questions?
Yeah, the thing is, what is the methodology? How you are doing this qualitative research? And finally, the next question is, you are finding something, right? And how you are proving that your findings is a reliable one?
Oh, okay. All right. Actually, the process almost same. When you do quantitative or qualitative, almost same. There's no difference between them, because when you write your research method, you have to go back to your chapter 2, your literature review. So when you go through the literature review, of course, some concept are used in your research in the chapter 1, that you introduce your concept and theory in chapter 1, which I said the issues that I raised, and Dr. Cairo also agree with me. And then you explain the concept and theory very well. After that, you see the gap in theory. How many theories that already researched in this field, and why you choose that theory, and how the concept was discussed, debated, and you clarified the concept. And after that, you propose a model, a tentative model. That model is a guide for you. So when you already have a tentative model, and your question will be why and how, and then we're going to use what are the research design or research strategy. So in this case, I go back to the Robert Inn. Robert Inn, you are saying you want to choose a case study, then your question must be why and how. And then I follow is my guru, I follow him. And not only my guru, everybody guru. When you do case study, of course, I refer back to him. So, and then the question that we propose actually in interview or in focus discussion, we are reflected to the model that we propose chapter 2, right? The tentative model. The question cannot be changed, must be reflected. So when you ask the questions, the answer will come. And sometimes, very interesting, the answer may be same as we discussed in chapter 2, maybe different, all right? But basically almost go back to that. And then, okay, take me my example. I use the same model that the model proposed one of the big scholars in my field, and then I use in Malaysian context, but the factors different, all right? The element dimension almost same. Example, they say one of the area that you look at it is the cultural differences. For Western model, they like to speak and they like to give voice, no problem. Even the employees and employer. But in Eastern, in Asian model, the employee keep quiet because they respect the elder, and they also worry they may lose a job. So that's the difference. But same dimension, cultural, political, okay, or maybe the law. Labor law in Europe allow people to speak the law, but the law in the context of Asia not allow the people to speak. Trade union cannot involve in certain issues. So dimension almost same. So when I propose the model, I say 6 dimension that captured in this finding. I propose, I discuss, and I say this need to be revised in the context of a labor policy, in the context of the policy at the workplace, and finally it become policy. So it's the same. When you do quantitative or same, quantitative, you use the theoretical framework, you're testing the model with hypothetical, and you say reject or not reject, and you're using moderating or mediating variable, then you add into the model. Then instead the model will perfect if you got moderating factor too important, that's it. So the process was almost same. The only thing that how you write this is according to the different approach and different methodological. I think I answer your question, am I right?
Yeah, thank you, sir.